I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Well, a good morning to you out there just joining us. It is the Fish Florida Show, an honor and a privilege to have you listening in. Going to be another great lineup today. I've got, oh my goodness, we've got guests, and more guests. And you can find us a couple of different ways. Of course, we have the app, the Fish Florida app. It's a free download. It's not one of those things that you download for free and charge you. It's a free download. It's a free program. And you can listen to us there. You can listen to us on Facebook. Those of you who are on Facebook, you go to our Facebook page. You can click on Contact Us Now and listen live. And for those of you who have unlimited calling, you can actually dial in to listen. If you want to do that, it's the number 701-719-9704. And I have with me this morning, of course, as an honor and a privilege to have her on. I missed her last week. The one and only Pam Worth. She is one of the top female kayak anglers, and she wasn't here last week because she was out of the country. She was, I believe it was Costa Rica. Good morning, Miss Pam, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. No. I was even further than that. I was in Panama.
Oh, I knew it was somewhere down in that area. and
my gosh, I had such a good time in Los Buenos, Buzos, Bucos. There we go, Buscos. I'll get it right.
And how did the fishing go?
It was amazing. If anybody wants a place to go fishing, that is where to go. I'm posting little by little, but there is a 99.9% chance that I have a world record, IFGA world record fish.
Wow, congratulations.
Yep. We're just getting some final figures in and contacting them now. There were 2 world records broken when I was there. Sam broke one, and I think I broke one for ladies.
Wow.
He just barely beat me, but I think I got the ladies.
Are either one of those records a picture of the fish that you sent me?
Nope.
Those are some nice fish. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I just posted on my Instagram the fish called a rooster fish.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was one of mine on my bucket list, and I was lucky enough to be the first person to catch one on our trip.
Wow.
And I got them right at the end of the first day of fishing. So that was pretty exciting.
Well, I'll have a couple of pictures up of a couple of fishes that she caught that she was kind enough to send me pictures of. I'll have them up on the page today, and you can get an idea of what she's doing out there. Mind you, this is somebody who's in I think this one was it 13-foot or 15-foot kayak?
They'd probably be about 13 and a half. It wasn't my kayak. When they're down there, you can, they provide you with a kayak.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a native. It was a Hobie. But the nice thing is it was all dressed out in rail blazer, which is the stuff that I'm used to. So it was a good time. I'm still recovering.
And
I'm talking sleepy.
The one fish that you caught looked to be, weight-wise, what, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds?
The first one, the rooster fish, was probably closer to about 12 to 15 pounds.
Mm.
And then the second one that I haven't posted yet is called a cabera. That, at 36 inches, they call a cabera a trophy. Mine was 42 inches, and
Wow.
they figured it weighed around 30 pounds.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's a cool-looking fish. It looked kind of like a snapper almost.
It is. It's a cabera snapper.
Oh,
and
it is
got,
a snapper.
I went to grab it by its mouth, and there, like 3 people yelled at me and went, "It's got teeth!"
Yeah.
And I turned around and looked at it, and I went, "Oh my God!"
Yeah. Wow.
The teeth are over an inch long.
Yeah, you don't want to be sticking your fingers in there now. My goodness.
No.
We'll have holy fingers.
Yeah. It ate a big blue runner.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So how was the trip down there?
It was fun. When you say down there, the flight,
Yeah.
I took United. Down there, I took United with a stopover in Houston. The downside is at the counter, literally when I'm talking to an agent, some guys came up and stood next to me. Next thing I knew, my cell phone was gone. So nothing happened in Panama. Panama was the coolest place ever. It was beautiful. It had mountains.
Wow.
The bougainvillea, everything was in bloom for
Oh, my
your
goodness.
allergy pills. So it was perfectly safe. Where did I get robbed? The airport in Houston.
Wow. And I'm sure they have cameras everywhere. If you report it, maybe they could actually see the people who did what they did. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I obviously reported it right away because I didn't want to get on the plane. But so all the pictures and photos that I have, I'm sharing that other people took for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sad to hear that. You have not got the phone back, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
First thing I did when I hit the States yesterday, my husband picked me up at the airport, came home, relaxed for a few minutes, had an adult beverage, relaxed again, and then went to Metro PCS and got another phone.
It's just a shame. You know, we're talking about this subject. It's happening also with boats and motors and lower units, really rampant. I don't know about your area, but down here in South Florida, it is really out of hand down here. I had Bruce Marks on, and I think I'm going to bring him back on. He's somebody who's outspoken about this. He went out and invested thousands of dollars into equipment on his boat, and only to have it stolen within a couple of weeks later, and then see what was stolen back being sold online again. That's quite frustrating. But I'm getting stories, a lot of stories about boats being stolen, and then, of course, they're stripped. The people don't keep the hull, but they keep everything else, the motors, all the electronics, whatever else is on the boat. They're literally stripping them down. It's something that we need to be aware of around here. Again, I don't know what it's like where you are, but down here in South Florida, I'm getting lots of reports of this going on. It seems to be getting worse, and I think the only way we can help at all is just keep our eyes open and join some of these groups. There's a couple of groups on Facebook. If you're here in South Florida and you want to help, there's a couple of groups on Facebook that you can join. I can't think of the name of them right off the bat right now, but if you go to the Fish Florida page on Facebook, I'll put a couple of links up for these people. They've been successful in recovering several boats before they were able to do any damage. You know, and one of the people that I have on kind of a regular basis is Carolyn with Atlas Tracks, because I believe in. I've had that wonderful feeling of having something that you've worked so hard to buy and to have. I've had that feeling if somebody says, well, I want it more than they do, and they take it from you. It really is very, not one of the best feelings in the world. Let me put it to you that way. So while we're on the subject, there's things that we can do, and one of the easiest things to do is just keep our eyes open and be aware of what's going on. Pam almost had your kayak stolen right from the hotel one night, right?
Exactly. I had it locked down to my trailer through the scuppers, and I came out tournament morning, 5 o'clock, ready to take off and go. Found my trailer all busted up. 2 guys running away. You know, it's in the dark. I couldn't recognize them to save my life. And they were trying to break the cross beams off my trailer so they could, you know, take the kayak and go.
Yeah.
And it's like, I stripped my kayak down. It doesn't have the pedal drive. It doesn't have any gear in it. You know, it's like they would have only taken half a kayak.
It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. They're taking lower units. I've got a guy sent me a story to put on share on Facebook where they pulled up to a boat and they didn't take the motors. They didn't take anything else but the lower units. Apparently, there's a demand for, I don't know. Must be a demand for them because they did it like 6 boats. They took the lower units off of them. Who knows what they're going to do with them? But it's you know, it's something that we should try to avoid in whatever way we can. And we have options. Unfortunately, some people wait till it's too late. You can get insurance, and I'm going to have a little bit of information about that in just a minute. I'll have Robert on here in just a second, and he'll tell us about that. You can get Atlas Tracks. You can track your God forbid they come to your place and they steal right out of your yard. These people are so brazen. It concerns me that they're willing to come right into your yard. They don't care whether you're there or not. And God forbid, I know if it were me and I caught somebody stealing my boat, there would be lead flying. That's what I'm fearful of, to be honest. I'm fearful that somebody's going to come out and find somebody trying to steal their boat and there's going to be lead flying. So we'd like to do whatever we can to catch that and nip that in the bud, if you will. But anyway, I've got Robert on the line with us. Good morning, Robert. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Well, good morning.
Go ahead, Pam.
I was going to say, how are you doing, young man? Man, I got a story for you. I've got it half written on the airplane because I didn't have a phone and there's no TV out there, so I had 6 days of writing to do.
Well, get it in by the 20th and we'll be all set. So
there you go. I've got people getting photos for me right now too, because again, with no phone, I have no photos.
She had her phone.
Well, I finished the other one Friday afternoon. I finished the last issue.
Okay, you're
number
gonna
16 on Friday. So
great.
That one's out, but we can get to the next one. So
yeah, but let's stop a minute. You brought that up. What all do you have in there? What's coming out?
Oh my God. Lots of stuff. 113 pages this time. So
wow.
The big stories obviously are Erica Lynn on the cover, who is just a great young lady. Very humble girl who fishes everywhere with her boyfriend and just loves to fish. Absolutely loves to fish. And
she's from Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
and,
she came to our first classes.
Nick Stanczyk's story is in there with the 757-pound swordfish.
Oh, the swordfish story.
As told by Nick Stanczyk. So it was just him reflecting on the day, and he shared that with us, and it's a great story.
Tell him again, Pam. I don't think he heard you.
Okay. Erica and her boyfriend came to some of our first-time fishing classes, and that's one of the places they got started at Tampa Fishing Outfitters. We provide free fishing classes every quarter, on different topics and different fish. And they came to ours for about the first 6 months.
Wow.
So, yeah, Erica's a sweetie. I see her all the time. And she's turned into an amazing angler. She's really good.
Well, she is. And like I said, they're just really nice people. Speaking of which, Sherilyn and Lewis Arnold do the family fishing page for us every month in there, and they live up here in Vero. Just the nicest people in the world. They go out with their kids. They've got two small children. I think they're probably looking at them from ages like maybe 3 and 5.
Wow.
And they've got a younger one, I think, too. But they take them out on the boat with them. They've got their own little. I forget what she called it. It's like the playpen area in the boat. And but they've been fishing as a family for since the kids were small.
I love that. Wow.
But yeah, it's proof that it can be done. So all those parents that go, the kids are going to get in the way and all that stuff, it's just not true. So get them out there, get them away from the electronics, and get them out on the water. Get them outside somewhere. I don't care where you take them for a bike ride. Just get them outside.
Yeah. There's something about the sunlight hitting your body and having your body manufacture vitamin D, which helps with your immune system. So you're actually benefiting in more ways than one. You're benefiting, your health is benefiting. Not just your emotional health, your physical health is benefiting as well.
And I didn't catch the guy's name, the team's name, but the King of the Beach tournament ended yesterday. Somebody won $106,000.
Wow, nice purse, man.
Yeah. Did you catch their name, Pam? Somebody posted it. I saw it.
Yeah, no. I usually fish King of the Beach, but like I said, I only got in yesterday and didn't get my phone until late. So I'm just starting to catch up on stuff. That's why nobody's heard from me in a week. But I'll check that. Maybe during the break I can check that out and get back to you guys and have that.
Yep, but somebody won a lot of money. I saw that yesterday, $106,000. And let's see, the Bull and Cow tournament is ending today down in Marathon. That's with Jack Carlson from Two Conch Charters. But that tournament ends today, so we'll have the results of that one posted up later whenever it finishes. So.
And
Cool.
did you do any fishing this last week, Robert?
No, I worked on the magazine every day, all day.
Oh, my.
But tomorrow afternoon I leave for Key Largo, so I am going fishing.
Oh,
There you
good.
go.
I'm going to go down and see my friends from Against the Grain Charters, and we're going to go out in search of my 50-plus black grouper that I'm missing from my bucket list fish. So,
Ah, I think Pam just caught him. Was that you that just caught a black grouper, Pam, or am I thinking of somebody else? Was that you, Pam?
Yeah, I caught a couple small black groupers,
Mhm.
but nothing to write home about.
Yeah, I see some. I'm looking at the radar, and I see some disturbed area out there on the west coast. It won't work. The automation won't work, so I can't tell which direction it's going in. Hopefully, it's going offshore.
Well, I'm
but
sitting.
some pretty
Yeah, I'm
big area.
sitting in my backyard, and I do have a bit of a breeze blowing, and it is totally overcast. The clouds are moving fairly quickly. I haven't looked at radar or anything. I know I've got some buddies out there fishing, so
I
I'm
know
hoping
we
they're
showed
in
like a
sheltered
70%
areas.
chance of rain today. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for a while we had some disturbed weather off of our coast. I think they called it a depression or something like that. I'm not sure. But according to NOAA, today we're going to have winds out of the south, 10 to 15 knots. Sea's going to be around 2 feet. Intercoastal waters will have a light chop. So if you're thinking about boating, stay away from the
Good day for
thunderstorms. Yeah, stay away from the thunderstorms. I remember many times being out there running from them things. And just wanting to stay away from them things. Had a couple of close calls. Really, literally made the hairs on whatever short amount of hair I have on my body, all the hairs on my body stand up at one time. That's how close we came to a strike out there, being struck by lightning. So it's a great time. Just got to watch what you're doing. But, we can have a really, really good time, a lot of fun, and share the
Yeah,
experience.
thunderstorms and boats don't work out well. So
Or kayaks.
Yeah.
no, anything on the water that's in a thunderstorm is not good. So
Especially, just a little advice, if you're out in a thunderstorm, and especially a kayak, most of our rods now are graphite.
Oh.
You put those rods, get them out of the rod holders and get them as flat as possible.
Yeah.
Try to get into a mangrove stand or someplace, and, if you can beach your boat and get out of it, great, and go to the lowest area you can. But, get those rods down.
yeah, I've seen a few of those graphite rods fried. So
Yeah, a friend of mine had one just sitting
they
on
just
his
turned
dock.
to dust.
Yeah, exactly. And that carries all the way down. You don't want to be anywhere near it.
Jeez. Wow. I'm picking up a little music in the background. I wonder if that's a cross channel. Anyway, while we were talking about these wonderful people who are taking advantage of other people and taking things that don't belong to them, and I had mentioned that there's things that we can do. One of those things is insurance. That's something we don't talk about much. We have a couple of times since I found out that Robert is in the insurance business. So tell us a little bit about what people can do with regard to protecting themselves,
Well,
their
like
boats.
as with anything, I mean, if it was your motorcycle, you would insure it. If it was your RV, you would insure it. If it was, if it's your car, you're going to insure it. These people that don't insure their boats are just, waiting for a problem. It happens. People do steal lower units. They steal electronics off of boats. They will steal your fishing gear out of your boat. There's a lot of things that can happen out there, and if you don't want to be on the short end of the stick, make sure you're covered. It's not as expensive as most people think, because it's not something that most people use every day. Don't get me wrong. Charter captains pay for quite a bit for their insurance due to the liability and the other things involved, but for the average boater, it's really not that expensive to protect your goods. So
This seems logical
and
to
the
me.
other thing is, and if you have a dog in the boats in your yard, they're not coming in. Dogs are I'm a dog owner, but I got to tell you, if you have dogs in your yard, people don't come in your yard. They're not going to take the chance.
Yeah.
They don't know if your dog bites or if it doesn't. They just don't take the chance. Get a dog.
It would help, especially if you're one of those little ones that yap like crazy. As soon as the bush moves, like,
Well,
so
see,
you won't be
I've got
sleeping
two
when that
pit
stuff
bulls
goes
that
on.
are actually just babies, but they don't. People looking at them don't know that they look like pit bulls.
Yeah, yeah.
They
That's
don't
a
know
good point.
that all they want to do is take you to the refrigerator and show you where the cheese is.
Oh my! So I want to ask you if I have a boat, because we talked about this briefly, but just for those who may have missed it. I have a boat, and I put equipment. And equipment did not come with the boat. I put equipment on the boat, and I want to make sure that that's insured. So when I go get the policy for my boat, I need to tell you that I have equipment on my boat that did not come with my
Correct.
boat.
You need an equipment rider for your. You have to list your equipment, what it is. It's helpful if you have receipts for it. Video your equipment. Take a quick video of your equipment. Just lay it all out. Take a shot of it, and get a rider on your policy to cover it. And it is covered. If somebody steals your stuff out of your boat, it will be covered.
Give me a second, Robert. I got something going on in the background. Go ahead, Pam.
Oh, I was
Ma'am?
just saying that anybody that doesn't have insurance, I think, are idiots. It's kind of like, you have a car insurance. You hope you never have to use it, but it's great when it's there in case you had to.
Yeah, just people don't think about it as often on boats. They go, you know what? I only use it every once in a while. It's not that big a deal. They let it lapse.
Yeah.
We had that come up recently at the office. Somebody who, thought they had paid their insurance, even though they hadn't for 6 months, and wanted to know why it wasn't covered. And we had to explain to them, well, your policy canceled 4 months ago for non-payment. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I forgot. Oh, yeah. You guess
That was a healthy mistake. How do they reach you? If somebody wants to call in and
they can find us either on Facebook at Warner Insurance Group, or they can go to the internet and it's winsurance.net, or they can call the office at 772-692-9311.
Okay.
We
Good.
had to explain to them, well, your policy canceled 4 months ago for non-payment. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I forgot. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no,
We're replaying.
That was a healthy mistake. How do they reach you? If somebody wants to call in and
they can find us either on Facebook at Warner and.
Okay, I apologize. Some technical issues happening in the background. I got a call from Victoria.
We're playing over again.
Yeah.
We're having Groundhog Day.
I got a call from Victoria telling me that people are not able to hear us on the app, and I think there's we changed something, and I don't remember what we changed, so I have to get with Victoria. But anyway, and it doesn't appear that we're being heard directly off of Facebook. We are on the server. We are transmitting, but there's an issue somewhere in there. So I'll look at that while we're taking a break here. And I apologize. I had to. She called me and I had to get off the air real quick to see what was going on. I'll see if we can get that working while I'm taking this break here. Robert, parting words, my friend, before you go.
Check out the new magazine, www.flfishmag.com, or you can just pull up our Facebook page. It's the first thing on it. Just click the cover and it'll open the magazine. Check it out.
Greatly appreciate it, Robert. Parting words for Robert there, Miss Pam.
No, I just always appreciate hearing from him. He's always got great stuff, and his magazine is amazing. Photos are great, people. Look at it.
It's always an honor to have you on, my friend. You've always got something very interesting for us to hear about. And wish you well and a wonderful day. And my friends, it's that time, so please don't go away. It's going to be just a short break, and hopefully we'll get this other problem resolved.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Grace has some pretty stellar arms, like Serena Williams good, but her face is pretty disgusting.
Someone please tell him to go back into his closet and leave us alone.
Brittany's face is so stupid and I hate her so much. It's like a scientist created her in a lab to annoy humanity and didn't even do that good of a job.
Megan reminds me of a troll doll that came to life intent on killing us with her stupidity.
Why is Grace's head so big? It definitely has nothing to do with how smart she is and probably everything to do with how bloated she is.
He's so funny. Just kidding. Who would find this disfigured flamingo funny?
Never post a selfie of yourself. You look so ugly.
The only reason you have so many views is because we think you're a freak and we can't look away.
Megan is the main reason that the world sucks so much.
I would rather get cancer than listen to another Trevor Moran song.
You are a mistake. You should have never been born.
I'm going to try to give him a bath today.
In a shallow puddle, please.
Wow, I hope she's sterile.
These really stopped being funny a long time ago.
You're so much more than the things that people say about you.
Those people have no right to say cruel things to you to make themselves feel better.
It's okay that you sound different than everyone else.
That's what makes you so special.
We will not tolerate it. We will not tolerate it.
We will not tolerate it.
We will not tolerate it.
Every day, people make me feel like I stand out simply because of the way that I look.
Every day, people make me feel small.
Every day, I face the cruel words of bullying.
And every day, people tell me that I'm brave for enduring this humiliation.
But we're not the brave ones.
It's the ones that say no to the bullying.
The witnesses.
If we all join together, there's nothing that we can't do. We will no longer be the silent majority.
When we see bullying online,
We will let the world know that we're going to take action with the eye.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
Our actions will overpower cruel words.
I am a witness.
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 There is power in words.
But it's nothing compared to the power of the actions that we put behind our words.
Visit eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'm gonna stand by you.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Shark, fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back, but we are suffering some kind of a technical issue. Some of the people are not able to hear us this morning. It's something to do with, we changed some settings on the servers. And, we increased the capacity, and somehow we've cut it out of the app. I guess you can't listen to the show through the app this morning. We'll have to figure out what where the glitch is there. Trying to figure out where could have happened. I pick it up on one end, so I know we're transmitting, but I'm not getting it on the other end. So hopefully I'll be able to get that figured out here, but I don't know if I can do it during the show. Anyway, to those of you who are able to listen, welcome back. It is the Fish Florida Show. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. We are suffering a little bit of a technical issue this morning. where some of the listeners are not going to be able to hear us because we made a change to the server to increase capacity. And obviously that has made some kind of change. Some of the people are not able to listen to us on the app, but we will get that fixed ASAP. So this morning I have with me Pam Worth. She is one of the top female kayak anglers. She's always so kind to co-host with me. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate that, my dear.
My pleasure. It's always a good time hanging out with you in the morning.
Well, thank you. And I believe I have Mike Lendl on. He's with the King of the Glades tournament. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on out there. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Riscala.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on in your neck of the woods, my friend.
Actually, I just got done launching just over 70 boats over at Everglades Holiday Park for the final round of the King Series. So them guys are out there battling it out. Fishing's been pretty good out there. The bass are starting to go in their post-spawn stuff, so they're hitting the bigger baits like the snakes and the big worms and stuff on the ledges and stuff. So fishing, it should take about 27 pounds to win today.
Is today the final day?
Yeah, today's the final round. We do have a wild card round on Okeechobee in 2 weeks, and that's for the teams that didn't qualify by points or weight. So, but season's getting ready to wrap up. It's been a good year. We've had over 100 boats most of the season. So
wow,
we're rocking and rolling.
Wow. So, is there anything happening after this tournament now? After the Okeechobee event, is that it for a while?
Yeah, I mean, there's some periodic opens like Bass Busters on Okeechobee. The McMillan benefit tournament's coming up on, I believe, May 11th up on Okeechobee. The lake, they're lowering the water level on the lake to trying to get it down to 10.5 feet, which the fishing's good up there right now. I mean, it's taking 27, 28 pounds to win tournaments, but it's kind of getting a little tricky. Boats are starting to stay off the water because of it's getting real shallow, and they don't want to tear those lower units up.
And we were talking about lower units a little while ago. Unfortunately, they're not getting tore up, but getting stolen. Are you experiencing issues with boat thefts up there and stuff being stolen off the boats?
Honestly, not that I'm aware of.
Well, that's good.
I haven't heard anybody complain about on the freshwater side. Pretty much, besides a couple guys getting their rods taken out of their rod lockers. Other than that, nothing really major like lower units or motors.
Good. That's good news because it seems to be rampant here in South Florida.
Yeah. Does Pam do any freshwater fishing in her kayak?
I do a little bit every now and then. I know Native has a big tournament up in Alabama, so I may be doing that.
Okay, so yeah, they just reopened up a STA area off of 27. The fishing out there, you're only allowed to have electric motors, so trolling motor only, and you're not allowed to trailer a boat in you. So guys are going out there in kayaks and john boats, but they're catching absolute giant bass in this STA area. I mean, 9-pounders are pretty common out there. Yeah, a couple over 10 too already, but the numbers of fish they're catching, and it's a pure example of if mankind doesn't touch an area and let it's all full of hydrilla and grass and clean water. I mean, the fishing out there is just off the chain, so to speak.
But you can't use a trailer to bring your kayak in?
No, you have to come in strictly with truck in the back of a truck, either with a kayak or a john boat. But it's well worth the experience. It's real beautiful out there, and the fishing is just amazing. I'll be out there next Sunday.
And people ask, what's the disadvantage of being a lady angler? That I don't own a pickup truck, and just for the ease and I trailer it. So.
Yeah, it's a FWC. I don't know why they have that rule into that area. For what reasons, I have no clue. Maybe to limit parking or whatever. I don't know. But if you ever get a chance to get out there, it's definitely well worth the trip.
Cool. And what's that area called again?
It's a new ST area. It's just north of what they call the Holy Lands on US 27. So it's right on the Broward Palm Beach line. Just north of the Holy Lands on the west side of the road, there's a big spillway, and you just turn in there, and there's actually a ramp there That's why, I don't understand why they don't let you trailer in, but, the fishing is it's amazing. My friend went out a couple days ago and caught like 75 bass, all in between 4 and 9 pounds.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. So other than that, fishing's been pretty good. Like I said, it's the post spawn, so they're hitting bigger baits, big worms, the 16-inch snake, big topwater lures, hollow body frogs, and fishing's been really good. Like I said, they're lowering Lake Okeechobee so they don't have to dump it in the summertime, which is a good thing because you won't see, any of those green tides coming in. So,
So I did want to ask you about that. How is the water quality?
The water quality now on the lake is good. I mean, unfortunately they're lowering it so low that God forbid we get in a drought situation, it's going to be horrible. But at the same time, they're doing. When I was up there last weekend, they were doing controlled burns, so they're burning off all the bad grass and stuff, in the areas that they expose from lowering the lake. So hopefully they'll plant some plants and let the plants that are there grow and. Get that to filter out the water, but they won't be doing, I don't think they'll be doing any summertime, releases like they did last year. I don't know if that's going to fix the problem, if the canal systems and the river systems are, have the algae already in it. And when it gets to that time of year, is it just going to, explode like it did last year without draining Okeechobee? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But right now they're lowering, trying to get it down to 10.5 feet, which is real dangerous for fishermen if you don't know what you're doing up there. But at the same time, it's good because they won't be draining any water in the summertime.
We've experienced a lot of. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. Unpleasant side effects from the improper drainage. This last year. 140 miles of western coast suffered tremendously, almost a complete devastation. And so it's good to hear that they're making some changes in that area. Water's all around us. That's one of the things I love about living in Florida. Of course, the weather, but then you got water on 3 sides of you. And if we don't take care of the water, it's not going to be much longer before we're not taking care of ourselves. So it's good to hear that you're running into good quality water up there.
Yeah, no, I mean, the new governor and stuff seems to be really on top of things. They actually had President Trump visit Okeechobee about a month back, and so everybody seems to be wanting to try to figure out the problem. They did find out that there was a real problem with septic tank leakage up north. That's one of the things that's feeding the water, the algae and stuff, is the bad septic tank. So I think they're going to finally start forcing these homeowners and, big associations up there to start fixing their leaking sewage.
I had heard that played a part of it, but I also heard that a lot of it was cyanobacteria, cynoalgae, that part of it was caused by a lot of the chemicals that are being used around the state. That a lot of this is ending up into the lake and then being fed through the different canals to drain it, and that was kind of acting like a steroids almost for the red tide on the west coast, where it's really just making it out of hand. So I'm glad they're looking at it. We really, again, it's 3 sides of us are water. We got to take care of the water, you guys. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, and it affects everybody. It affects, it's bad for everybody. It's bad for the coast. It's bad for Okeechobee. It's bad for everyone. And it looks like they're starting to get a swing on that. Hopefully up north in the northern side of the state, they do some stuff up there in the Kissimmee River and stuff, and try to clean that water before it enters into Okeechobee, because a lot of that chemical and stuff comes from up north. And
that's what I've heard.
They're starting to bend the Kissimmee River. They straightened it out, which pretty much just allows all that stuff to flow straight into Okeechobee. And now they're building the, redigging out the lobes and stuff and breaking the Kissimmee up a little bit to where it slows the water flow down into the lake. So hopefully some of that stuff will get cleaned up. But I mean, right now, it hasn't really affected fishing, so to speak. I mean, fishing's good all across the state right now, from Tahoe, Istapoga, Lake Placid's got some giants on it being caught. I mean, so the bass fishing itself is real good across the state. Peacock bass fishing down in Miami is real strong. So you can't go wrong. I mean, if you love fishing, Florida's the place to be, and it seems like, you know, like I said, like the governor is on top of things. So we'll see what happens.
Amen to that. I'm glad at least it's coming out into the open more now, so there's more attention being brought to it, and that's part of resolving the issues. The more people that know about it, the more people that can respond to what's going on. Wow. Well, that's good news. I'm very happy to hear that. And I'm now that we're talking about that, Pam, how was the water? Just out of curiosity, how was the water quality where you were down in Panama?
Oh, it was beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
Was it clear?
You could see 40, 50 feet into the water.
Wow.
Most of the days it was crystal clear. We had a couple of days where the wind picked up and we had a little stronger current than normal. So needless to say, the water was a little murky on those 2 days. But except for that, it was beautiful.
Cool. Could you see the fish down there? Was it that clear?
Yeah, if you were in shallower water, if you were in, 30 feet of water,
Mm-hmm.
you could see some of the bottoms, but we were a lot deeper than that. But it was beautiful.
Wow. And you were down there for what, a week?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had it was nice, 5 days back-to-back of fishing.
My goodness. Well, it's about that time. Any parting words for us there? Excuse me. I'm having a hard time with my throat this morning. Any parting words for us there this morning, Mike, before you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for having me on. Thank Pam for, talking and stuff. It's like I said, if she ever gets a chance to get out to that SDA area, she could always, call me up and I'll give her better directions or whatever. Like I said, I'll be out, get a better handle on it next Sunday. I'll be out there all day. But I appreciate everything, and we're all in the same boat, and we'll get this thing fixed. And like I said, it's a good thing that they lowered the lake. It's tough on fishermen, but it's good because there won't be no summertime releases. So if there's any algae or anything this year, then they gotta look at Plan B and see where it's coming from, because it won't be coming from Okeechobee.
Good.
In my opinion.
Good. That's excellent news. All right, my friend. Any parting words from Mike there, Miss Pam, before we take this next break?
No, thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate the offer, and trust me, I will take you up on it. I'd love to get down there a little bit more. So it sounds like a good trip, and you always have a good report. Thank you for calling in and letting us know about the freshwater world down there.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Tie lines, everybody, and have a blessed rest of your weekend.
God bless you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What's up, Ricky Dillon here at the largest social media gathering in the world. So the internet is an amazing place, but sometimes it can be a not so great place with online bullying and trolling and stuff. Have you ever seen online bullying before?
Unfortunately, it's kind of common. Online, people can hide behind the internet. Those comment sections can be a little
harsh.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a good word for it.
I've been called many homophobic names. I felt embarrassed. I felt humiliated. It made me stop liking myself.
What if I told you there is something that you can use anytime that you see bullying online that calls attention to it in a nice way? Like, hey, that's not nice.
I wish that was the thing.
It's this. So anytime that you see any kind of hate online, go into your phone, go into the symbol section, post this I, and it says that that's bullying. That's not nice. So would you post this if you saw someone bullying someone?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a lot more mature way to handle it.
Find the emoji in your phone, send it to 5 of your friends, and let them know what it means to be a witness.
Go to eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more about the emoji.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478. Diane Whittick at Bowen Realty, located in Wellington at Wellington Trace East and Forest Hill Boulevard. 561-247-5478.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All aboard, southbound. Come on, baby, let's go. Don't forget your bikini. I wake up in the morning, oh, it's so cold. I'm hopping on a train, heading southbound. I'm going to Florida, where the sun shines all day. Just call me a grouper.
All right, having some technical issues in the background here that I was trying to resolve, but unfortunately I'm not having much success with it. We are transmitting, but some of the people are not going to be able to hear us. Some of the people that are trying to listen in on the app are not going to be able to hear us right now because we made some changes. We increased the capacity of our servers, and in the process of doing that, I think they changed some of the numbers of our server, some of the numbers for the address of our server, and as a result of that, the links on the app on the smartphones and stuff like that is not going to work properly. And I tried my best to get that resolved while we were taking this break. That's why you heard the full song come across, but unable to get that information immediately, so I can't get it to Victoria, who can change it on the app. So by next week, I promise you, you will be able to listen to the show again on the app as well as on your computer. But anyway, we're going to make best with what we've got this morning. I do know that I did check and we are transmitting, so I know that that's happening. So we'll make do with what we've got. I've got Pam Worth with me this morning. She's one of the top female kayak anglers. She's always so kind to share with me. Thank you for being here with me. Good morning to you, Miss Pam.
Good morning, sir. Hey, during the break, I did do a little research, and King of the Beach, the big fish was, hold on a minute, 46.19.
Holy, good, great.
That's a decent fish. There's been a lot bigger. That
Wow.
was a decent fish, though. And it was War Chant. The boat was War Chant.
Wow. Well, I've also got Mike Simko. Mike is with kitefishing.com, and he's going to share a little bit about. He was out of the country too. I think maybe he was the one who's in Costa Rica. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Wiscala. Good morning, Pam. How are you guys?
Good morning, sir.
Were you in Costa Rica, Mike? Was that you?
Yeah, we spent our team spent the week in Quepos, Costa Rica, from last Saturday until yesterday, and we fished the World Offshore Championships, which was a tournament which you had to win a sanctioned event from somewhere around the world. There were 45 or 46 teams that came from everywhere: United Arab Emirates, Europe.
Wow.
I can't go through the list. New Zealand,
Wow.
Australia. We got to meet some really, really cool folks there. Great week.
And so overall, how did it go? What was the win?
Yep, it was a great tournament. This is more of a tournament where bragging rights and kind of a prestige thing is much more valuable than the money. The prizes were, some very unique rings, somewhat like Super Bowl rings.
Mm-hmm.
And major sponsors: Marlin Magazine, Saltwater Sportsman. The list just goes deep. Costa Sunglasses. But anyways, it was great for us. I mean, the whole concept of this thing was basically to use local boats. So a fleet of charter boats from Los Sueños and Quepos were at the Quepos Marina. And the teams started based on a blind draw. Your team number, you started with one boat, one charter boat, for example, Pacific Fly, let's say. And then the next day, you would just rotate to boat number 2, different boat 3, boat 4. And so you didn't know your team until the captain's meeting, which boats you were going to fish. And then it became somewhat of a draw in the sense of what boat gets hot what day. Can the next boat be hot the second day? And it goes on and on. So it was pretty cool. I can tell you the winning team, which was the Oregon Inlet team, they basically were so hot the first day. I think they caught 17 fish, 15 to 17 sailfish, and with a couple marlin mixed in. And on the very last day, they were on a different boat, of course, and they didn't get a fish, but they still won because they did so well on that first day, second, third day too.
I like that.
It was interesting.
Wow.
Very, very interesting. We were pretty good. We were in the hunt most of the tournament, but day 2 and 3 were not. Well, really, it was day 2 that got us. We had one fish. We only saw 2. We were 1 for 2, and we needed to move a little bit more up the rank in that day, instead of dropping a couple points.
That's pretty neat. And how long were you down?
Great.
How long were you down there for, Mike?
I'm back. we came back yesterday. We fished. We did a pre-fish day on Monday. The tournament was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday was kind of the awards wrap up, and we all flew back yesterday.
And
I think that's
go ahead.
a really neat format.
It really is. It was fun. The captains and crews on those local boats were phenomenal. Even though some of them didn't speak a lick of English, they spoke enough English and their body language and their attitude
To
about
communicate.
teaching.
Yeah.
Communicating through their body language style.
Wow.
We learned some new bait rigging techniques that they use there. They floss their ballyhoo a little differently and put their circle hooks through one of 4 quadrants of a cross that they put right over above the mouth. And it's very cool. I mean, much different than the way we rig them here.
Wow. And what was some of the stuff that you caught was?
We got nothing but sailfish. So we caught.
Oh.
We were 15 for 22 sailfish for the whole tournament. We didn't see a marlin. The teams that were up there in the ranks had a few shots, up to 4 or 5 shots at marlin, because those are worth 500 points versus 200 for sailfish. The big dolphin that I saw was 53 pounds.
Nice dolphin.
Again, there were blues caught, and most of the tackle used is 30-pound class tackle. So, these blues were brought in, on 30-pound line,
Wow.
which is an amazing feat in itself. I had the pleasure of sitting with Brandon Hopper, who is from Key Largo, and he was the top angler in this event. He had 2,600 points, which was 8 sailfish releases, a blue marlin, and a striped marlin. And I won't say he ran away with that, but man, that's such an incredible feat. Because, in this event, especially Pacific style fishing, these boats move at a pretty good clip with ballyhoo out of the, long riggers, short riggers, flat lines, basically it's 6 rods. And you feed these fish, so it's a whole different deal. So for him to come out of Key Largo and really kick some butt over there was just great.
So, in your estimate, it's not the same. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not the same. I can't think of the right word. Yeah. It's not the same format there as it is here.
Yeah, the technique is similar, very similar to the way that we might fish white marlin over here on the East Coast, and let's just say the Atlantic side, the East Coast fishing for white marlin, and let's say the guys that troll for sailfish, really love to troll for sailfish from Martin County over to all the way north into the New England area. Yeah, so that technique is similar, but because these guys do it every single day, it is some kind of a different method. The fish come, they'll whack the bait. Sometimes it'll stay in the pin, stay in the clips of your riggers or your shotgun rigger, and you basically have to feel it. You got to feel this thing happening, and then you have to play that fish like it has. You've sensed that it injured the bait. You drop it back to him like the bait's kind of falling in the water column, and then when he picks it up, you've got to be very nimble with that reel, especially conventional reels, because they're screaming line off of there. But you don't really want to thumb it. You have to thumb it to a degree, but if you sense that you're putting pressure on the line, he'll drop the bait. So it's a real intense technique. And I just became a big, huge fan of it.
Wow. I didn't, I never really thought about all the different ways to fish depending upon where you are. Obviously there's a big difference between freshwater and saltwater and that kind of thing, but thinking about, for example, we're talking about sailfish. Well, we're catching sailfish off of the coast here and on the east coast of Florida. You would think that whatever way that you're using to do that, to accomplish that, would be successful somewhere else, and that's not necessarily the truth, even though you're going after the same species. So I think that's pretty interesting.
This tournament was it was a dead bait tournament, so there was no chumming and there was no live bait. So kite fishing, which is kind of my specialty, that would not be allowed over there. The kind of joke banter between us folks, live bait guys versus the dead bait guys, is everybody thinks their way is better, right? Or everybody, in a sense, from an angling style, they think their way is better because it's a little more difficult, requires a little more technique. Of course, I disagree with that. But it was just amazing.
Well,
just an amazing way to fish, and I'd love to do more of it. So I plan on it.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I think it's very interesting that, again, we're fishing for the same species, but yet it's not done the same. And that's one of those things I didn't consider until you brought it up. All right, well, it's a magic moment again. So before we go, Mike, if people want to find out, by the way, we didn't even mention it, that one of Mike's specialties is kite fishing. Did you do kite fishing while you were there?
Not at all.
Isn't that
about it a lot, but we sure never did it.
Wow. Well, one of Mike's specialties is kite fishing, and if you want to find out more information, you can find him, and I think it's kitefishing.com. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, it's all my information there, so it's easy to click on that link and find me. And we try to keep adding new content, especially the instructional videos, which I think are easier for people to kind of get the concept.
Mm-hmm.
And look forward to hearing from anybody that has questions about it.
Well, I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks for sharing with us. I'm glad you're back home safe, and we'll be looking forward to having you back on shortly here, and you can tell us some more about what's going on, because it's sailfish season now, right? This is going to be sailfish for a while.
Technically, we're getting to the end of it here on the East Coast. We're kind of moving into some other migrations of fish.
Mm-hmm.
But there's sailfish all year round down here in Sailfish Alley. So we had a great summer last year. Expect the same this year.
Well, God bless you, my friend. Once again, my appreciation to you. If you want to reach him, it's kitefishing.com. His name is Mike Simko. You can also find him on Facebook as well. And one of the things I like about Mike, like so many of the other guests that come on, is they're willing to share knowledge with you. That's not, I'm going to keep it to myself. And they're willing to share knowledge with you. They're willing to work with other people and share their time and share their knowledge and help you, get through the learning curve, especially in kite fishing. I've learned so much from Mike just about kite fishing. I always thought kite fishing was a pretty straightforward, simple kind of thing, but it's not. Well, it can be, but it also can be very, very technical and help you raise your odds exponentially. That's something I never really considered. Raise your odds of getting successful in fishing exponentially. That's pretty awesome. Thank you, Mike. We'll catch up with you in a while, my friend. God bless.
Well put. Thanks.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
From the author of Silent Steps and Haunted, Finding an Explanation for the Unknown, comes a story so chilling it will haunt you for years to come. Krista is a young woman escaping her past, running away from her family, her traumas, and her God, hoping to find a new life in a different town. But when she is forced to make a horrible choice, she comes to realize malevolent entities have controlled the true darkness she has been a part of. That is when her real terror begins. Penitence is disturbing and evocative. It will tear down the walls between what is real and what is nightmare. Penitence is the new novel by the man called the new master of speculative fiction, Ira Robinson. Find it and all of his books at his website, originalworlds.com.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today. 561-793-9992. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, where your pet gets celebrity treatment.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, my friends, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. Thank you for joining in, and we are having a little bit of technical issues going on in the background. The last week, we upgraded our servers to handle more traffic, and in the process of doing that, I think somehow we've messed up. We've messed up the ability of those who have the app to listen to us on the app, and some of them. And it looks like the Facebook page is not working as well. We are transmitting. We are on the server. I just went and checked that through another computer, and we are out there. We're just going to be limited this morning to the number of listeners because there's a couple of different avenues that are not available to them this morning. And I promise you by next week we will have that resolved. Just the fun of dealing with technology. Anyway, this morning I have with me Pam Ware. She's one of the top female kayak anglers. She's always so kind to share her time with us and give us a unique perspective. She's literally on the water's edge there. So good morning to you, Miss Pam.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, my dear. And I have also Ron Weintraub. Ron is with the Skeeter Beater, and he's out of the Carolinas. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning.
How are you doing, my friend?
We're doing great. Hey, I was listening to Mike talking about that bait. I wanted to address that real quick. The live bait versus the dead bait.
Go ahead.
The reason that most of the Carolina boys, we rig our baits so they look like they're swimming, so they look like they are alive, and that's the reason that we have a better hookup ratio than the guys using big bait, and that's very true because I ran a charter boat out of Stuart, Florida for 10 years, and pretty much we did much better than some of the guys using those pre-rig baits. So, but anyway, getting on the Skeeter beater, we now have, for everybody interested, and the only sunscreen on the market right now that can be used down in the Keys around the coral reefs, the sun beater. There's 2 ingredients in all the other sunscreens that is destroying the coral reef, but we have a sunscreen. It's 40 SPF, and it can be used around the reefs. Now, Skeeter beater also has a pet formula, and there's no DEET in our products at all. There's DEET. You know, I know people have been told for years and years and years that DEET's safe, but DEET
is not safe. It's not a safe product.
It is not a safe product. I hear the news.
Do a whole show just about the toxins that are in some of the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis.
You know, DEET was developed for the Army back in 1946, and it was never supposed to get to the general public. Well, our product is DEET-free. We also, for you swimmers down in Florida and down here in the Carolinas, we're getting, you know, summer's coming. And we also make a product called Bite Burn Beater. And, you know, there's a lot of things you can do when you get jellyfish stings or severe sunburn. And last summer, I was at a show, and a girl had fell asleep in her beach chair while her husband was fishing. Poor thing, I'm telling you, she was from Atlanta, Georgia. And when we came by my booth, she looked like a well-boiled lobster. I mean, she was red from head to toe. And I said, honey, she says, I've tried everything on the market trying to get this pain to go away. I said, well, I can't make any promises, but here's what I'll do for you. I'm going to give you a bottle of this Bite Burn Beater, and you spray it on. So her husband sprayed it on. She says, Capt Ron, she says, I am so amazed by your product. She says, I'm going to tell everybody in Atlanta about your product. She said, my skin cooled off immediately when I sprayed this on there. And I said, well, I'm so glad I could help. Now, I know there's a lot of people in Florida because we live there. A lot of people have screened-in porches or lanais or whatever.
Yep.
Now, if you want to stay outdoors and not put anything on your body, we also have candles available. We have 3-ounce, we have 12-ounce, we have 18-ounce, and 25-ounce. And they have wooden wicks in them, so they burn even all the way down. So you can burn them inside your lanai or your screened-in porch. They don't have any citronella in them at all.
Oh.
So they're perfectly to burn indoors.
Oh, sweet.
So,
I didn't know you had it. When did you introduce that?
It hasn't been out that long, but we do have candles, and they smell wonderful. They're well packaged. We're getting calls from all over. What happened? I tell you what happened that really launched this candle thing. Well, you know, up here in North Carolina, we've needed a new bridge over Oregon Inlet for 27 years. Well, they finally got around to building the new bridge, but in the middle of the building the bridge, they cut one of the pieces of the bridge, fell and cut the power to Hatteras Island in Ocracoke. The people that had no power, this was in summer, so it was hot. So people were actually sleeping on their in their hammocks and stuff at their rental cottages, but the mosquitoes were bad. They were trying to get that sea breeze to get a little bit of air moving. So the stores on Hatteras Island that had the candles, they were buying candles like crazy because they were lighting them, and it was keeping all the mosquitoes away and all the other bugs from bothering them while they were sleeping. So that's how the candle thing really started to grow big, and it's just gone out of control now. And we're shipping out candles across the country. And is the lady with the kayaks, is she still here with us?
Oh, yeah, that's Pam. Yep.
I'm right here.
Okay. Now, I was going to tell you about the kayaks. Now, Skeeter beater, when you use this, it will not Now, if you use any other thing that's got DEET in it, it's going to make your paddles real sticky because it's melting the plastic, just like it takes the bluing off of guns. So Skeeter beater is perfectly safe for you to use on your paddles, your boat, everything. It won't hurt a thing.
Good to know.
Captain Ron, do I remember right? Captain Ron, was it approved by Hawaii? Something in Hawaii too, as well?
Yes, it was. They said that's the only thing that they will allow in Hawaii to be used as our sun beater. Now, like I said, we don't have the two ingredients that all the other sunscreens did. They banned all the sunscreens. They won't let them sell it. And if you get caught using it or you get caught selling it, there's a hefty fine associated with that too.
I think there's something similar to that, if not the same things going on down in the Keys now.
It is in the Keys.
Yeah.
One of our sales reps that's in Miami went down there and asked the shops, and he says, "Where's your sunscreen?" They said, "We had to pull it." They said, "Because it's messing up the reefs around here, and they won't let us sell it anymore." And he says, "Well, I've got sun beater." And everybody was like, "What is sun beater?" They said, "Well, it's bank block with Skeeter beater in it." And they said, "Well, we're familiar with Skeeter beater, but we didn't know about the the sunblock." And he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "This sunblock is SPF. It's got Skeeter beater in it. It works perfect. Keeps the bugs off of you, protects you from the sun, and it's a perfect combination." So needless to say, we've been shipping a lot to Florida.
Well, it's getting around that time too as well now here in Florida, where we enjoy those wonderful little boogers. I went to walk the dog the other day, and they thought, well, here's a free meal. She about flew away with me. So yeah, it's getting to be that season again.
Yeah, I think that's also the perfect product to send down to Panama. I got to talk to Adam Fisk about that because all we did was fish reefs.
Oh.
Yeah, have him. Please have him either call me or send me an email, and we can get it down to Panama. That's not a problem. That's not an issue. My cell phone number is 252-475-0244, and you can always reach me by my email. Is CAPT_Ron@AOL.com. I'm still doing AOL. Everybody laughs at me, but I'm still.
Well, that's all right.
So is my husband, so that's okay.
If it works,
Look, I'm old school. I've been. Let's see. My wife's 65th birthday was yesterday. We went out to eat dinner last night.
God bless you.
Celebrate her birthday.
Well, happy birthday. Make sure you tell her happy birthday from the Fish Florida show.
Well, I'm absolutely going to tell her that. And we were counting it up, and my wife looked at me and she said, "Do you realize you've been fishing for 57 years?"
Lord have mercy.
I said, "Yeah, I can tell by the amount of fishing rods and tackle I got."
You got your own tackle shop, huh?
Yeah, well, a friend of mine calls it a fishing museum.
There you go.
He said, "You've got rigs in there that I haven't seen since the 60s.
Lord have mercy.
Well, I'm one of the people that, I guess I'm kind of a fish hoarder. I don't really get rid of fishing rigs. I might put new hooks on them or re-rig them or do whatever. But one of our clients actually called and said that that Skeeter beater really had saved their vacation. They were staying at a place, and it was so bug infested that they really couldn't enjoy the beach. So they called me up and they said, "Captain Ron," they said, "can we use this on these I forget what kind of flies they were, but anyway, I said
probably
no-see-ums. I hate no-see-ums.
Oh yeah, this works on no-see-ums. Now you can take Skeeter beater and put it right above your head and just give it a quick spray, and they will not get in your hair.
Sweet.
And because anybody knows that's been around Florida, especially around Jupiter, around 3 o'clock, 3:30, they will eat you alive. This product absolutely works perfect on the no-see-ums. I mean, we've used it over in the Bahamas, and we actually have a picture of a a missionary that, you remember when Belize had those mudslides?
Oh, yeah.
The missionaries went in to rebuild.
I can imagine that was hell.
Well, one of the missionaries actually took a picture of herself holding a bottle of Skeeter beater. She said, "This is the only product that works in Belize."
Wow.
So we've got just nothing but positive feedback. I mean, it's been fantastic. And working with Victoria Brinkley has been a godsend to us. I mean, she's been fantastic. You've been fantastic helping us get this with the word out. And
well, I like your product. Yeah, I like the idea that your product is safe for children. This is, I'm
very safe.
My life, the testimony of my life is I have a heart for kids. I've gone out of my way to see to it that we can do the best we can for kids. And there's so many, again, I could do several shows about the toxins that are in our environment. It's so refreshing to find something that is safe, that you can put it on, you don't have to worry about it. Many people are misled, misguided about the marketing, as they call it. I call it conditioning, but it's called marketing, and they get people to buy their product, and people buy it, they don't realize how dangerous the product can be. Here we have something that is, safe for kids, it's safe for pets, it's safe for the coral reef. My goodness, why not help promote that? That's the kind of thing that I like, where everybody benefits. That's really the best for me.
And we have sent a lot of stuff, out of our own pocket to help some of these victims. They got flooded, and after these floods, like in Oklahoma and Texas and Louisiana, all these places get flooded. The first thing, after that water gets away, I mean, those mosquitoes are coming out in hordes.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Like a third world country kind of thing. It's really, really bad. All right, well, it's that magic time. I'm up against a break, but before I go, Captain Ron, how do people reach you? I know you have a website. What is the website address?
It's www.obxskeeterbeater.com. And they can always reach me on my cell at 252-475-0244, or they can go to and send me an email, which is capt_ron@aol.com.
All right, my friend. Thank you for sharing. Greatly appreciated. Any parting words before we take a break there, Miss Pam?
No, I'm just glad that he was out there with a product like that, and I appreciate him following up and bringing new products on the line that are safe for the environment.
Yeah, I was surprised about the candle thing. I'm really that's really good. We're constantly innovating. That's a great thing. Thank you, Captain Ron. Wish you a wonderful day, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me on, and we appreciate everything.
With your host, Rick Keller. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Grace has some pretty stellar arms, like Serena Williams good, but her face is pretty disgusting.
Someone please tell him to go back into his closet and leave us alone.
Brittany's face is so stupid, and I hate her so much. It's like a scientist created her in a lab to annoy humanity and didn't even do that good of a job.
Megan reminds me of a troll doll that came to life intent on killing us with her stupidity.
Why is Grace's head so big? It definitely has nothing to do with how smart she is and probably everything to do with how bloated she is.
He's so funny. Just kidding. Who would find this disfigured flamingo funny?
Never post a selfie of yourself. You look so ugly.
The only reason you have so many views is because we think you're a freak and we can't look away.
Megan is the main reason that the world sucks so much.
I would rather get cancer than listen to another Trevor Moran song.
You are a mistake. You should have never been born.
Drown yourself in a shallow puddle, please.
Wow, I hope she's sterile.
These really stopped being funny a long time ago.
You're so much more than the things that people say about you.
Those people have no right to say cruel things to you to make themselves feel better.
It's okay that you sound different than everyone else.
That's what makes you so special.
We will not tolerate it. We will not tolerate it.
We will not tolerate it.
We will not tolerate it.
Every day, people make me feel like I stand out simply because of the way that I look.
Every day, people make me feel small.
Every day, I face the cruel words of bullying.
And every day, people tell me that I'm brave for enduring this humiliation.
But we're not the brave ones.
It's the ones that say no to the bullying.
The witnesses.
If we all join together, there's nothing that we can't do.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
When we see bullying online,
We will let the world know that we're going to take action with the eye.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
Our actions will overpower cruel words.
I am a witness.
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 There is power in words.
But it's nothing compared to the power of the actions that we put behind our words.
Visit eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'm gonna stand by you.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing it blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing it blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right. Well, a good morning to you. If you're just joining, we are having some technical issues this morning. The player on the app is not working properly. We will have that fixed by next week. We made some changes to the servers. We increased the capacity because our listenership is growing. Thank you, God. And we increased the capacity. In the process of doing that, I think what happened was we changed some of the settings, and now the app doesn't pick it up. We are transmitting. I checked off of the server and checked off of the main website, so we are going out there. There are people who are listening. It's just not as many this morning as normally would be because several of the avenues have been cut off. Our Facebook link has been cut down, and a couple of the other places, our app link is cut down. And anyway, we'll have that fixed. It's just an oversight. I should have realized that while we were working on that last week, that these numbers would probably change the numbers to the address, and that would affect the player. And it didn't even occur to me until this morning. Got a call from Victoria telling me she can't hear it on the app. So we will have that resolved very quickly. In the meantime, I have Pam Worth with me, and she's one of the top female kayak anglers here in Florida, who always brings a unique perspective to the table, to the fishing table, if you will, and who was down in Panama for about a week there and experienced a unique fishing experience, if we can say that. And she's going to share a little bit of that with me now. Good morning and welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, I was down in Panama in an area called Los Buenos, Buzos. And if you put it all together on Instagram, LOSBUZOS, you can turn around and find some of their posts. I think they're on Facebook as well. Or check out Adam Fisk, Fisk. But, kayak fishing offshore for 5 days straight. And I was blessed to have a group with me, or that all showed up. I knew two of the guys that were there, so that was cool. I fished with them both before. But the rest of everybody else that showed up had offshore kayak experience. So we went a little further and a little bit more intense than Adam usually does, because he'll structure the fishing to the ability of the group that's down there. Mm-hmm. So if you're a novice kayaker or never done it before, this is still an opportunity to go down and catch some really big fish. And I'm going to do a tease, but it looks like I do have a IFGA world record catch.
Congratulations, that's great. How was the how were the seas? Was it rough? Was it smooth? Was it medium?
I fished 5 days. 2 of the 5 days it was perfectly flat. One of the 5 days it was very, very nice. One day was a little choppy, and one day was I should have gone horseback riding because they offer that also in trails and things like this. But, I mean, it changes daily. We never had bad weather. It's just one day we had a big current and a lot of wind coming off the mountains. So it made it very, very challenging, but we still caught fish.
These were pedal kayaks, right?
Yeah. Mostly what he had were Hobies and Jacksons. So, yeah, it is a pedal kayak.
So
and the anglers from California only use paddle. So this was the first introduction, and they did really well, caught a lot of rooster fish. And one of the guys also, it looks like, has a world record catch out there. So a lot of excitement.
Oh, you know, I was surprised. I kind of started looking a little bit about these kayaks and the pedals and all that. The one that I looked at didn't have a prop on the bottom. It had almost like flippers on the bottom. Have you seen that?
That's Hobie. Yeah, that's Hobie, and Hobie's probably the best known kayak. They were one of the first out with a foot type drive as opposed to a paddle. They have what's called a Mirage system. Now their patent ran out, so anybody can put a Mirage system in their kayak, and really no other kayak builder has done that. The kayak I use is made by Native Watercraft, and they were the first to put a pedal drive in that's more like a bicycle type movement, so it's a little easier on your joints, and it has a prop function.
Yeah.
Now, all the other kayak dealers that have come out with some sort of pedal drive have all gone and put a prop type function in their kayak. It's more direct, plus it's very easy to go forward and backwards. There's a couple times out there, especially when I had that big Cabera on, when I was trying to get it out of the rocks in the caves down there, that I wanted to pedal backwards to pull it, and I couldn't.
So with the other one that looks kind of like flippers, is there any advantage to having that? I thought that was so bizarre. I was so ignorant and naive. When they had, it was somebody fishing in one of these boats, and they were doing a video, and they stuck the camera in the water to show the fish, and as they moved the camera around, they showed underneath the kayak, and I saw these two little things like flippers underneath there. That's what drives that thing? It was kind of bizarre looking.
Yeah, no, like I said, it was the first system out there. That was the very first system. There's advantages and disadvantages to each one. Each kayak has its advantage, and each one has its disadvantage per the drive system that's out there. The advantage to theirs is you can get a little skinnier, and you can really keep it straight on the against the hull of the boat. The disadvantages is they're plastic. The flippers are plastic, and one of the guys coming in did break one of his flippers coming in Panama. The other disadvantage is the chain drive is closer to a bicycle type drive. So after a lot of pressure, just like your bicycle chain, the disadvantages to the prop system, and they're starting to overcome some of these, is you need to make sure that it's kept greased, which is no big deal. The other thing is they have a little bit more. What do I want to take? They need a little bit more depth to function. They can't get quite as skinny without you having to pull up the system or the system automatically coming up.
Do you have adjustments?
The Hobie, you can flutter it, and you can get in super like a couple inches.
Oh my gosh! You just brought something to mind. You have a prop system, right?
Yes.
Are you able to adjust the depth of it too?
No, but it's about a foot under my boat, so I need about 13 and a half to 14 inches.
That's nothing.
Of water.
Gee, many.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're not gonna catch fish any skinnier than that.
My goodness.
So Yeah. The only downside is when I go to beach it, I do need to pull my prop up. Now, there's other boats, I think it's Ocean, that has one that it'll automatically pop up when it hits the beach.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're making progress with this. So
Exactly.
while I'm thinking about it, did you ever do the outriggers? I know you were thinking about that. Did you do the outriggers on your boat?
No, I wasn't going to. When you talk outriggers, are you talking about outriggers for stability, or are you talking about outriggers
for
fishing rods?
Yeah, fishing.
No, I was thinking about kite flying. The baits we were using in Panama weren't something that you kite fish with, but I do have a tournament coming up in June down in Pompano, so I'll see you then. And I'm thinking about maybe doing an outrigger and doing it that way. I have a modified outrigger just because of the Railblazer has rod holders that you can adjust and really get a nice spread out of the kayak. So that's what I'm using, and it's worked pretty well for me.
You know, when I was talking to Mike earlier, and we were talking about the sailfish, how we were fishing for sailfish here, and the fishing for the sailfish down in Costa Rica the format was different. Did you find the same thing with in Panama?
Well, there was one chance to get sailfish out there, but I didn't.
I don't mean about the sailfish. I mean just fishing in general. Was it a different kind of feel altogether?
It was because you were targeting different fish that I've never fished for before.
Oh,
well, I did once in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But we were basically the toughest thing about fishing there was you had to catch your own bait, and we were using blue runners.
Wow.
So we were using like crappie baits, those little crappie jigs, white feather type jigs, to turn around and catch your bluefish or your trevally. And once you got one of those, then I'm going to post later on, and I'll send you a picture of the hook we used. It looked like a freaking shark hook. But once you pulled these fish up, the hook didn't look so big anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. The power in these fish was something I haven't. How do I want to say this? I haven't battled anything like a cabera before. That was a good 20 minutes of tug of war, trying to maneuver this fish out of the rocks, watching your leader. You can watch the tip of your rod go ding, 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 and basically what that is your leader scraping against the rocks down there.
Ooh.
And you're saying this little prayer to yourself that it doesn't cut through, that you can turn around and work this fish, get it tired enough that you can finally horse it up. And you slowly lifting the rod up and hurrying up and reeling in, and you can't jerk it up. It's a slow lift, and then all of a sudden he'll get a second wind and he'll take line again. And it's, it was that it was almost like a ballet in getting this, fish up.
Wow. Now that you mentioned cabera, when I was younger, I seem to remember, I think we had them here on the East Coast at one. I may be wrong, but I seem to remember my friends mentioning they're the really large version of the snappers, right? These are big fish.
They're
These
giant.
aren't. Yeah.
I don't ever remember them being in East Coast waters. I know they were in Costa Rica. I know they're in Panama, but I've never heard of them in Florida.
You mentioned the cabera. I go back in what's left of my mind and I don't know. I think when I was a lot younger, somebody was telling us about cabera snapper, and they were very big, and they were not I think it's red snapper or it's just snapper in general, like a yellowtail snapper. They're not in the same category as these things. These things are pretty big.
They're like Goliath groupers.
Yeah, they're in that kind of thing. Yep.
Big teeth, 2-inch teeth on them, and
good gravy.
They're built for power. They're totally built for power.
Wow.
Yeah, to me, they're more like a big grouper. And this one, like I said, was 42 inches. So anybody who's pulled up a really big snapper or a big grouper before, think of it at 42 inches. And the war that and it's trying to get back in its holes, and whew. It was fun.
a major workout.
That was the only one landed. understand it. I mean, there was a lot of guys that had break-offs that didn't get the cabera in, that, you know, either stripped their bait or their line broke off or straightened one of those 10-aught hooks.
Good gravy. Wow.
Yeah.
That's some serious power there now. We're going to be straightening out some of those hooks. That's heavy duty.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, magic moment. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back, and I believe we're going to have Angelia on with us. She's down in the Keys. She's going to give us a little report about what's going on down there. So it's going to be a shorty, and we'll be right back. I'm sorry, Pam, what were you going to say?
No, I said great. I love her report.
Yeah, so do I. I enjoy having her on. Don't go away.
Is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise!
Surprise! Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I wasn't sure if I could do it. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but the teachers, the counselors, they help you. One of the teachers was Miss Araceli. Miss Araceli, she gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll come over and she'll sit there with you until you get it.
Thank you, Miss Araceli. I know you make a difference in people's lives because of the person and teacher you are. I wanted to be here because I wanted to thank you for helping me get a beautiful gift.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work. Getting your high school diploma, it is a life-changing experience. It really is.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Have you ever heard of Audible? Audible is a website with hundreds of thousands of audiobooks. They're all high quality, easy to listen to, and, best of all, if you take advantage of a special deal that we've worked out for you, you can get one for free. That's right, a free audiobook of your choice in any genre, simply by going to audibletrial.com/openeyes and signing up for the free trial. It's simple to do, and it would support the shows that we bring to you, and hey, you get a free book out of the whole thing. So why not take advantage of it today? Go to audibletrial.com/openeyes and sign up for the trial.
Ask 10 different scientists about the environment, population control, genetics, and you'll get 10 different answers. But there's one thing every scientist on the planet agrees on. Whether it happens in 100 years, or 1,000 years, or 1,000,000 years, eventually our sun will grow cold and go out. When that happens, it won't just take us. It'll take Marilyn Monroe, and Lao Tzu, and Einstein, and Morobuto, and Buddy Holly, and Aristophanes. All of this was for nothing. Unless we go to the stars.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, my friends, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. It is an honor and privilege to have you listen in. We're having some technical issues this morning. I've been explaining that we did some upgrades to the servers over this last week. We've been having more demand on the servers, which means there's more people listening. And in my infinite wisdom, I think it's my fault, to be honest with you. In my infinite wisdom, I didn't consider what would happen if people tried to listen in off the app, because we have to put in a particular set of instructions for the app to work. And as well as Facebook. Facebook isn't working either. I went to the website, to the main website. We are live. We are going out there. There are people listening. It's just this morning it's going to be not as many, only because several avenues have been cut short. But by next week, I will have all of that working. So anyway, we are back. It's the Fish Florida Show. With me this morning, Pam Worth, one of the top female kayak anglers. Welcome back, Miss Pam.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate being on the
Always
show.
a pleasure, and always a pleasure to have you on. And last week, Pam was in Panama, and since she was in Panama and was not able to be a co-host, I had asked Angelia to kind of join me, and she did such a great job of being my co-host last week. Thank you for doing that for me, Angelia, and welcome to the Fish Florida Show this morning.
Good morning, and it's always my pleasure, Riscala, so no problem.
It went really well. I don't know if you got to. We're having so many problems with people listening. I don't know if you got to hear, but we did finally get Captain Ron on this morning about the Skeeter beater, and talked a little bit about the safety of the product for people, for children, for the coral reefs. And I thought that you might be interested in that. So I'll send you his info in case you want to reach out to him and find out more about his product. But something I support because it's safe for children.
Absolutely, and safe for the reefs. Safe for children, safe for the reefs. That means it's going to be safe for all of us, and that's wonderful. And from what I understand, I did a little research last night. Not only is it a nice sun care product, but it also repels the insects as well, right?
Yep. He has a combo product. He has just an insect repellent. As for pets as well. He has an insect repellent, and he also has a sunblock with the insect repellent in it. And the thing that he found out, I think it was inadvertently, that it doesn't wash off very easily. It holds up much better than most of the commercial products do. And again, the safety factor, it's there's no comparison when we talk about the safety factor.
And now he's out with candles too.
Oh yeah, and the candles. He's got candles now.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's fantastic because I'm really passionate about our reef, and I say it all the time, but down here in the Florida Keys, we are absolutely blessed to have 120 miles of North America's only living reef, and I work with several organizations trying to protect that and keep it growing nicely, so I really appreciate what he's doing. For the environment, for our skin, for our reefs. I really think it's a wonderful thing, and I'm absolutely going to have to try his product out.
It's everybody wins kind of thing. So,
exactly.
That's my passion, is where everybody wins, because in a way, in kind of a twisted way, but it's selfish in a way, because when everybody wins, I'm part of that everybody. Hello.
Hey, we're all being selfish, so that's not bad.
So I know you're down there in the Keys. I think you're in Isla Morada.
Yes, sir.
And what's it looking like down there?
I was going to say the weather's been absolutely perfect this weekend. It blew a little bit during the week, but the weather this weekend, absolutely perfect, absolutely beautiful, hot as heck. Summertime has arrived in the Keys, for sure. This weekend is very, very exciting because it's the first weekend that all of our Mahi tournaments start.
Oh.
We've got the big bull and cow tournament's going on right now down in Marathon. And then up in Isla Morada at Cabernet Creek Marina, you have the Nick Sheehan Dolphin Rodeo. And I'm very fond of that one. I've fished it almost every year. I'm not fishing it this year because I've got a lot going on.
Good for you.
It's very nice because Nick Sheehan was a young man who died of shallow water blackout. And so the whole tournament there in Tavernier Creek goes to educate people who dive and free dive about shallow water blackout. It's very dangerous and it's very common and people aren't aware of it. And this young man lost his life in this tournament. It's fantastic. It raises money for awareness and I just love it. Now, here's the downside right now of the Keys. We had record number of sargassum growth this last year, and usually all of the sargassum, the weed lines and all that we're used to mahi fishing, usually they'll go away in the fall and we'll get clean water all winter, and then they start to come back in the spring. Well, we never lost the sargassum in the water this year. I researched it, massive record numbers of sargassum growth. Well, out there, they're having a really hard time getting to the mahi. You can't really troll too much because there's so many weeds. It's just frustrating. And I'm itching to see what they brought in this week.
Wow.
But I know the weed line, the weeds aren't even in a line. They're just scattered everywhere. And I mean from most of the residential canals and the marinas are so packed with weeds you just walk across them. And then when you go offshore, not even offshore, you go out to the reef, they're everywhere. You go offshore, they're everywhere. I haven't seen any place that isn't covered with weeds. Even the hump is covered with weeds. So I'm hoping that everybody does a great job this weekend. I can't wait to see the mahi that they brought in, but I know that they are very frustrated and they're having a hard time out there. So good luck to the guys.
It's
in the
tough.
meantime, the reef is still on fire. The reef bite is fantastic, and grouper season is officially upon us. So now we can keep them. Thank goodness.
Wow. So
grouper season's open. The reef's on fire. Did a little bit of jigging out at the hump. The black finner's still present. The amberjacks are still present. So fishing's still good down here. Weeds or not, you can always find another outlet to fish where you're not so frustrated and working so hard for it, you know.
So have you actually been doing any fishing this last week?
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. And I'm very, very fond of deep water vertical jigging. So when I get so frustrated on that weed line, anybody who's trolled through the weeds, they know that more
that's
time and
irritating.
more effort and more energy reeling in these lines that are so full of weeds, it feels like the big
Yeah.
It feels like the biggest fish you could, but it's not fighting. And it really is tiring and frustrating. So
Yeah.
out of the
I remember them
did a little
days.
bit of jigging. I'm sorry?
I remember them days.
Oh, yeah. Really rough. Really rough. I've, I do a line of trolling lures, and I have just entertained everything trying to design something that's weedless.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, one day when somebody does, they're going to be the best person in the world, because if you could design a truly weedless lure, it would be a miracle out there right now.
What about the way that they make the freshwater? That's what comes to mind anyway. The freshwater weedless, where they have a little thing that pops up against the hook, like a little spring.
Exactly. I've actually tried that. There's actually little plastic cones that you can put over the top of the lures as well. But, no matter what, where your line goes into the water, it's going to catch weeds. I mean, there's no getting around it. That's why I say when somebody comes up with a truly weedless way to fish, they're going to do great, because not everybody will buy it, especially down here right now. But like I said, when you get real frustrated and real tired on the reef, I'm very fond of vertical jigging, and out there at the hump, the fish are still in droves. The blackfin are still there, the amberjack are still there, and thank goodness the reef bite is on as well. That way on windy days, you can go 2 miles offshore and still be fishing and having a good time. So, but the weather is perfect.
Yeah. What's some of your favorite jigs that are using down there?
I'm actually going to post a picture of my personal favorite jig, Pam. I use a butterfly style jig. And I really, I like the heavier the better, because I was brought up on down fishing, and the rule was always get that line to the bottom as fast as you can to get down to the grouper, So I like a nice heavy jig, especially with the current screening at the hump. It's very hard to get your line to go down straight. And when you're vertical jigging, you have to have your line straight. So you have to have the helm really helping you to keep your line straight down, especially in 300 foot of water, 350 foot of water. But I use like a 10-inch long pink and silver butterfly style jig. It's got a single hook on it. I'm actually going to post a picture the next day or so of me with the black fin and my big beautiful pink jig that I use.
Is this about 200 grams?
It's about 12 ounces, to be honest with you. I don't know about grams. You make me do math this morning, Pam. But it's a 12-ounce
sorry.
jig. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a 12-ounce jig.
That's like about, it's about 4.5 to 5 ounces, I think, maybe 6.
No, she was. Say it again, Angelia. It's 12 ounces, right?
Oh, 12 ounces. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I like the little spro jigs too, but I can never find them heavy enough. 4, 6 ounces, 8 ounces.
just doesn't seem like you can get your line down fast enough, and the heavier weight will actually keep your line a little straighter too.
Yeah.
But the jig I like is about 10 inches long. There's a couple of manufacturers. Williamson makes a really nice one. Believe it or not, Gypsy even makes a really decent one that they put out. But it's just my favorite thing to jig is, everybody's got their favorite. If I lose one of those, I'll go with a gold butterfly jig that's a little bit shorter. But whatever the fish will hit, that's what I'm going to use that day. They don't hit a few times. Jigging is so exasperating, you get really tired really fast. So if they're not hitting whatever you're using, change it up quick and keep on jigging until you can't anymore.
Keep on jigging. I like that. Keep on jigging.
I'm always getting jiggy with it is what I call it. If I can pull up a couple blackfin for dinner, I'm always happy.
Hot dog.
There you go. Yep. And once in a while, I'll pull up one of those monster amberjacks, and that is always a good time.
Oh, that's a heck of a deal.
Well, I say you can't eat them, but people do eat them. I don't prefer them. They've got a lot of worms in them. But people, especially when you cook them, they're all good and they're fine to eat. Just not my favorite fish, but they sure are fun to catch. Oh,
they're one heck of a fight. We used to
yes.
smoke the shoulders, just the shoulder portion, and slow smoke them, and that was quite tasty. But that was the only part that we'd eat. The rest of the fish would get used for bait or chum, especially if we went shark fishing. They made really good shark bait.
Yeah, I've gotten a really good habit lately. The fish that I catch that are not good eating fish or not edible fish at all, but you're allowed to keep, I've been keeping them and making my own chum too. Just saving a little extra money since I fish so much.
Hey, it's,
the amberjack makes great chum.
Yeah,
it
does.
Amberjacks, but
yeah,
they make great chum, and all of your what I call just bycatches or your junk fish or whatever you want to call them. If you're fishing a lot and you want to save a little bit of money, especially if you've already injured the fish where it's not going to swim off live.
Yeah.
Best thing to do is just recycle them, and it really makes sense to me, and it works great.
I like that too because we tend to harvest the fish we like, right? And all the junk fish get thrown off. And I want to tell you, there's spots in Tampa Bay where you can't put a topwater in the bay without hitting those big giant sail catfish. It's so I have no problem in harvesting junk fish.
Neither do I. And I actually joke and say I'm a fish snob because I know what I like to eat, and there's so many good eating fish out there. Why would you eat the ones that aren't so great? But there's going to be people out there that go, oh my goodness, amberjack are wonderful and kingfish are wonderful, and so I'm just a bit of a fish snob. I know what I like, and yes, if you catch that bycatch, especially if you know they're not going to swim away and live, all you're doing is just basically feeding the sharks. And it's not a bad thing if you throw them back in dead because it's just the whole circle of life.
That's right.
But if you're like me and you fish a lot and you buy chum by the case, it really makes a lot of sense just to keep them, grind them up, make your own chum, and it works great.
Yeah.
Some of those fish actually work really good for chunk bait too, especially now with mahi season when you can find a big giant island-sized weed patch and toss them out underneath and see if you can draw out some mahi.
Sweet.
So there's a lot of use for those junk fish. There really is. I use them for chunk bait. I use them for chum, and it just saves me money, and it's always a good thing, So I'm just happy if I'm reeling in fish. I don't care what they are.
Yep. I'm right there with you. As long as I'm reeling in fish, that's fine for me.
Exactly. If I spend the day reeling in fish, I'm a happy girl. So, and down the piece, it just seems like if you have a plan A, B, C, you're going to reel in fish part of your day.
Hot dog. Well, we are rapidly running out of time, but before we do, I want to make sure that people have an opportunity. If somebody wants to reach you, Angelia, and by the way, Angelia is a guide down there. She's a professional captain, and she's a guide down there. If somebody wants to reach you, how do they do that?
They can always reach me on my Facebook page, Florida Salty Cowgirl. You can always reach me on my website, which is actually being remodeled right now, but FloridaSaltyCowgirl.com. And you can reach me on my phone at 813-610-0078.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you so much. Wish you a wonderful day.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to speaking to you next week.
Thank you very much.
Great information. Thank you so much.
No problem, Pam. Nice to talk to you.
Miss Pam, parting words for you, Miss Pam, before we go here.
Just a nice show. I'm sorry you had so much technical difficulty, and look forward to next week.
Yeah,
See everybody then.
By the time next week rolls around, we'll have it straightened out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Pam, and thank you to all the guests who contributed this morning. We'll be back in a week, my friends.